2, 1, 0.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Phenomena.
Tiptoe through the tulips with me.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
This one's explosive.
We're here. TSR styling and profiling. Sass and class tonight. Are you ready to peer the weird and hear the feared? Rock and roll for your soul.
What's up, hair fans? We are Scott and Heidi Linden. Welcome to Talk Supernatural Radio, broadcasting scary truth Friday nights from the UK to the US, down under to up north.
That's right. Faces for the radio and voices of truth. You know, you may not want to hear everything you hear, or want truth or don't want truth, or speak truth or not hear truth, or be truthful about the untruth of the truthness. But the fact is, we are honestly truthful.
Honestly, we are.
We are. And today, out of all days of the year, I mean, we've gone to levels before I didn't think we'd go to. We've said things before I didn't think we would say. We've hit plateaus and peaks, and we've been in valleys that I couldn't even dream, brother. But let me tell you something. Today, of all the days of the year, is by far one of the most important days of the year, bar none. Today is National Indian Pudding Day.
Thought you were going to say Friday the 13th.
No,
But it
that's
is.
not that important. National Indian Pudding Day is.
What is that?
I don't know.
I mean, who comes up with that?
I don't know. I mean, we could think of,
It could be
National
like-
Goldfish Day. I mean,
Yeah.
where do you stop? But
Like, tomorrow could be like National German Jello Day or something.
that's tomorrow.
That's what I said.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't know what
I
tomorrow
don't
is.
know what tomorrow is either.
Oh, you know what? I do know what tomorrow is.
What?
National Spicy Guacamole Day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I know there was National Guacamole Day like a month ago, but today is the spicy guacamole. They don't want to leave it out.
Okay.
You
well,
can register national days. I think we should come up with one. We should come up with like National TSR Phenomena Day or something. We should think of something.
Why not?
Let's try it.
How about national? We can come up with a new word day. And we
They
can just
probably
make
have
it-
that.
Well, we can just come up with a new word, though.
Okay, we will. Yeah, more to that in the future.
Yeah.
Well, today is also the infamous Friday the 13th. So, you know, they say you have bad luck. Did you have bad luck today? Any bad luck?
No, I usually don't.
Me neither. I never did.
No, I never really did either.
So, but a lot of people do.
No
And-
problemo here.
Good. Me neither. I don't know what makes...
Every day is bad. No, it's all good.
No.
Huh? No.
You wonder what makes people believe things, what makes them superstitious. What is that?
What? It's what?
From ancient times to today, science has been man's ultimate tool in the attempt to understand how the national world works.
National world works.
Oh, but
But
what if
X.
What if nationally supernatural was natural?
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you ever think of that, guys?
Blow my mind.
Well, there's many cases that have been recorded that science can't reasonably explain. And to this day, phenomena that boggles the mind. We have miracles and we have mysteries.
Yeah, but tonight we're going to focus on a couple of phenomena and some of the myths and legends. Like Friday the 13th, this date is well known to be a bad luck day.
Yeah.
And it's even called Black Friday.
Not to be
Or
confused.
a really far off white.
Dark shade of gray.
Yeah.
Isn't Black Friday, though, like the shopping day after
it's the
Christmas?
shopping after,
So-
no, it's after Thanksgiving. It's the day we need to hide.
So it's not the shopping day.
Stay off the roads the day after Thanksgiving.
No, Thanksgiving is like the new Black Friday. It's called Black Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
they've got everything. It's like, now we're going to have Black Wednesday before the Thursday so you can get your shopping done so that you can relax, enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, I'm not going to go shopping on a day
either.
that rewards me for leaving my family on a holiday. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
But there's a lot of stores that aren't now. But anyway, so Black Friday they called today many times. Now it's not. But do you know people actually stay in all day just to avoid something bad happening to them on this day?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's weird.
I mean, there's people that are really serious about the ladder thing and everything.
Yeah, superstitious.
Like, it's like, oh, you walked underneath the ladder. I'm like, yeah, because it was the shortest route.
I heard it so much in my family that actually I believed, like when I was little, that stuff was real. Like I believed that you seriously could not walk under a ladder and stuff like that. So I used to think that if you walked in the cracks of the sidewalk, that my mom's back would hurt. Step on the crack and break your mom's back.
That is true.
No, that's not true. Don't say that. It's not true.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's funny because we have satellites in orbit. We can talk live on small portable devices between any 2 points on Earth. And we can see more stupid cat videos in one day than Einstein could dream of. But, God forbid, you walk underneath a ladder, especially on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You did what? You broke a mirror? Are you kidding me? You're doomed.
You're doomed. There's actually a name for the fear of Friday the 13th. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Paraskevidicatria phobia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
Now, the Stress Management Center and Phobia Institute says an estimated 21 million people in the United States are affected by the fear of this day. $800 or $900 million is lost in businesses on this day.
Oh, my God.
Isn't it? I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, and then you wonder, okay, so where did this... Because like all myths and legends and folklore originates from somewhere.
Well, we're going to get to the bottom of it. That I can assure you. Now, Battle Cat. First, our friends.
People don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you bet. Hey, speaking of which...
What?
A lot of people are listening on iTunes now.
Yep.
And they listen on what else?
iTunes, TuneIn, YouTube, and Spreaker.
Well, the thing is, though, now I don't get hardly any emails. Because everybody's listening on iTunes. And I don't get any emails. And I need emails.
We get emails, we don't get comments.
I don't get comments. I need comments from Spreaker. So now they have to listen, and then you're going to have to go to Spreaker. You're going to have to sign in, do whatever you got to do, and you got to send me a comment.
Well, not everybody has Spreaker, so...
I don't care. IDC.
They can email us. That's better.
Email us.
I prefer emails anyways.
I do. Okay, I prefer communication.
Okay.
That's what I prefer.
You sound really needy right now. You're like...
I'm not needy.
Podcast needy.
PN.
Okay, so anyways.
PCN. Podcast needy. PCN.
Oh, you're going to come up with all these acronyms for diseases and disorders.
The whole day.
I have
Maybe
PCN.
we could have a whole podcast which would just be acronyms, the whole thing.
People would have to figure out what we are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Some people would. Some of these people are pretty sharp.
I know, that's true.
Oh, we know what that meant. And then some of them would, change it a little bit, still
They
make
might.
it work, and they'd be like, oh, boy. Can't believe you said that, but all right.
As far as Friday the 13th, though, back on track.
You know what else
Rabbit
about
Trail?
Friday the 13th?
What, Scott?
It has always and will always come after Thursday the 12th.
Whoa.
Not a coincidence. Not a coincidence.
There was a movie, it's a funny movie, I think it was in the 80s, called Saturday the 14th.
Yes, I remember that.
So
I think I've
lame.
seen it.
Oh my gosh. So it's supposed to be scary, but not scary, stupid.
Stupid scary.
Oh my gosh. And I'm one of those people that would watch it just because it's so stupid. So, anyways, so there's a publication that goes back to the 1800s as far as Friday the 13th being bad and why. In 1907, a popular novel by Thomas Lawson was called Friday the 13th. And in the novel, a crooked broker takes advantage of the superstition to create a Wall Street panic on a Friday the 13th. But the real thing is Friday the 13th in October in 1307, Philip IV of France, he arrested hundreds of the Knights Templar. And that's where a lot of people think that Friday the 13th originated from because it was such a bad day. The Christian Crusade started, and they wanted to combat Islam coming in and, infiltrating everything. So the Catholic Church...
Not much has changed.
It's gotten worse. You see, they failed because the Knights Templar were formed by the church to sort of, I guess, I
was
don't know.
a member of the Knights Templar.
No, you weren't.
I
You
was.
This was in the 1300s.
Don't argue with me.
Okay. And what did you do as a Knights Templar?
I was Templistist.
Oh.
A knightist.
What'd you wear?
Swords.
You wore swords.
I wore swords and some metal.
And metal.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd you wear the metal? All over?
That's where how heavy metal got started.
Okay.
From the Knights Templar.
Really?
Yeah. Because they wore all these shields and stuff on them.
Uh-huh.
And they had all these different things on them. And that's how heavy metal got started. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My name was Slash then.
But not now.
Huh? Anyways.
Yeah. So by the 1300s...
I try to share things with you. And... You want to know more about my past? And
We've been together for so many years. I know a lot.
I'm a little older than you are, so a few things happened before you were
4
born.
years older than me. Has nothing to do with
You don't know what I did
Knights.
them first 4 years.
You were not part of the Knights Templar.
You were there.
That was in the 1300s.
You weren't there. You don't know.
Oh my gosh. I'm laughing. I'm not going to be able to get through this. My cheeks are starting to hurt. Okay.
Ouch!
Stop.
Stop it.
Stop and
Read
listen
your
to this.
stupid paper.
Listen to my facts. This is important. Oh no, I'm going to start
We all
laughing.
need to know about 1307 Knights Templars. Oh, couldn't live without that information.
Oh, like...
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
You're so weird. So the Christian Crusades came in, and by the 1300s, the Order of the Knights Templar had grown so powerful that they were perceived as a political threat by kings and popes. So now they created this monster, and they don't want it anymore. Now they want to get rid of them.
Yo, popes.
Yo, popes.
Yo, popes, not dopes. Enter in the church-state conspiracy.
King Philip carried out mass arrests in a well-coordinated raid at dawn. Thousands of the Templars were in bondage. They were charged with heresy, blasphemy, obscenities, and homosexuality.
Happens.
It happens,
More so now, but it happens.
Yeah. No charges were ever proven, and the order was found innocent. But within the next 7 years, hundreds of those Templars suffered excruciating tortures.
Excruciating.
Yeah, but they're executed too.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, and then they were intended, or like they wanted them to make a confession, but they didn't.
They didn't.
So what they would do is, some of them who did were still killed.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing about these.
And when they didn't, they were
About
killed.
anything in life, or the whole claim that you Islam or this will kill you, or claim that you're this or that will kill you. They're going to kill you anyway. So if you end up in this situation,
As a Knights
it's
Templar
best
wearing
to
swords.
just to stand up for what is right and at least die with some honor. So
Yeah.
any existing Templars today, just remember, if you didn't do this stuff, there's no need to admit it. I'm just trying to be a little bit of a spokesman here. I'm trying to help out the underdogs.
The frost makes the blade stick, right? Isn't that what he says? What's that movie?
Sometimes the frost can make the blade stick.
That's such a good movie. What movie is that again?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, Russell Crowe movie.
Yeah. it is.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
I love it too.
It's a good movie.
It's
Okay.
a good movie. I love it.
Anyways, so more than 100 people died under torture that they can account for. A lot supposedly went missing or left, but, no one really knows. But we think that everybody was executed, and a lot of them were burned at the stake.
Oh.
Yeah.
We talked about this in many previous podcasts.
Yep.
It is wrong to burn steaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
I like it.
expensive.
I
They're
like my
good.
medium
I
rare.
like my medium rare too.
Yeah, with a little mushrooms and stuff.
Now in Finland, that's where fish come from. Friday the 13th is a National Accident Day. National Accident Day
Yeah.
is the second largest stock market crash in history. Happened on this October the 13th. Well, not this one, but in 1989.
Good.
I
Because
remember
this is
that.
November.
I remember that. I actually very, very clearly remember that.
I was busy
happening.
graduating that year, so I didn't know anything about the
Yeah.
stock
Well,
market.
I was serving our country.
As a Knights Templar.
Okay. No, I was a mechanic on the F-16, but what were you doing? Oh, that's right. Party Central with Heidi.
yeah.
Locking little kids in the bathroom at Sears and shutting the lights off.
I did that when I was 12.
Oh,
so there.
my bad.
Anyways, so there are tattoo parlors around the country that will give discounts to people who want to mark this occasion permanently. Yeah, so if you want...
Wow.
Yeah, for $13. Friday the 13th.
$13.
That's a good deal for a tattoo.
And why am I here? When I got this going on.
You don't want a tattoo. The tattoo has to be Friday the 13th related, too. For a lot of them. Like, you can't just go in and say, I love Heidi tattoo. You can't get that.
Well, what do I need?
That's
A
what you
Templar
want.
tattoo, which I already have.
No. You do not wear
I have Templar tattoos.
Where are they?
Yeah, Templar tattoos, TTs.
Where are they?
Yeah,
We've been married. I haven't seen any.
I hide that spot.
I'll have to check tonight. Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay, well.
Everywhere. I'm going to put on the bright light. Bing! Yep.
Lights don't go bing.
Yeah, when you turn them on, some of them, bing!
You get a problem if they're going bing. Called electrocution.
Do you know today's also Alfred Hitchcock's birthday? That's fitting.
Good evening.
Good evening.
He's not, no.
He's not Dracula.
No.
I can't do it right. How does he do it?
Good evening.
Good evening.
God, good evening.
I can't do it.
I want to show you a film. It's also Mary, Kate, and Ashley Olsen's birthdays today. Hello! I know you're listening. Probably not.
You know who they are, right?
Yeah. The little chicks from the little...
Chicks. Yes,
Yeah, little chicks.
From Full House, but they're...
Yeah, but they always... And I never
now.
knew that at the time, but they both were in the thing, and they would...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
cool.
switched off.
They
as they were
switched on and
twins.
off. Couldn't hardly tell the difference until the one quit eating.
No, I think they both stopped eating. Have you seen them? Oh, my gosh. They're doing a Full House reunion, but they are holdout. They won't do it. And so I guess
Why?
John Stamos came out and is, bad-mouthing them and everything now because he's, sick of them. He's, trying to talk to them.
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Oh, they just think they're all, about their fashion and their rich lives, and they just don't want to do it pish-posh.
Well, what do they think made their fashion and their
I know,
rich life?
and that was the whole point. But they don't care. They don't care anymore. They just want to be skinny and bug-eyed. Yeah. Okay, so here's some things you shouldn't do
Skinny
on
and
Friday the
bug-eyed.
13th. They got big old bug eyes with those big bags under their eyes. You remember? Even in the TV show, they had the big bags under their eyes, and they still do. It's I don't get any sleep. And now that they're each 20 pounds, it's the bags are the only thing of fat in their body. It's really gross. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't really spent that much time looking at them, but okay.
Well, when I'm at the grocery store, they're always in the tabloids.
They're at the grocery store?
No,
Oh.
tabloids. They're always on the tabloids. Anyways, let's talk about things you shouldn't do on Friday the 13th. Don't open an umbrella indoors.
I've heard that.
Me too. I have done it. One time I did it just to see what had happened.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
What? Oh, it's coming then.
No. I think...
It's on its way. Nice.
Yeah?
You reminded the
I was
umbrella
real
spirits. Yeah, well, look at the life you've had.
I've had an
You've had
awesome
You've
life.
had some issues.
So have you, though, since you married me.
Yes. Okay. Cover your mouth and don't let...
The devil in? Whoa. Don't do that on Friday the 13th.
Cover your mouth?
And don't let the devil in.
I never heard of this.
Yeah, check this out. So if you yawn, you're supposed to cover your mouth, right? Well, we do that just because people don't want to see your teeth, and if you have floss.
You made me yawn.
Well, some people don't floss, and it's all gross,
Ew.
But
Yo, man, I know that's last night's hamburger.
in a giant book of superstitions in the Middle Ages, isn't that old people? The Middle Age?
Yeah, like 50s.
Okay, yeah. In the Middle Ages, it was a common belief that yawning was brought on by the devil, that he watched for his chance to enter the body through the mouth. So they started making a sign over the mouth like a cross so he couldn't enter. And then eventually they said it just came to covering your mouth. But
Oh, see, it's always about, just coming up with your own junk. This is why we have so much problem in the world.
this is why there's demonic possession.
Exactly.
Too many people are
because
yawning.
and they took away
Get
the
your
crossing.
sleep. People, get your sleep.
I don't even want to be part of this world. I'm going to go to another planet. I hear...
Mars is hopping with water
actually, they discovered that Mars is actually on a continual getting colder. It's like at one time it was warmer and had flowing water, and it's actually, they're discovering it's okay, yeah, but it's actually in a decline. It's not like, oh, look, there's water. It's like, oh, no, there was a lot more. Now there's just way less, and it's shrinking.
Hey, speaking of planets.
I've been there, to Mars.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So
when I was a Templar.
There's this picture that's, I guess it's old in the conspiracy world, and I just heard of it like the other day. But you've watched a lot of that stuff on the moon and the conspiracy about the moon landing. Did they show in that documentary you watched about, it's a picture that the Land Rover had, and it's of the flag or of a satellite, and then there's a shadow of a person there, a figure?
Yeah.
And they don't know what it is?
Dun, dun, dun.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they're saying they think that whole moon thing is fake?
Oh, yeah. I've seen a whole bunch of documentary on that, and there's some facts
where did that person come
about different things like the dust off the Land Rover when it's rolling.
Yeah.
And, different things that shouldn't be, that are wrong.
Yeah.
And they also take and mimic those scenes. It's very easy to do.
And, I'm not really into that whole moon conspiracy. It's interesting, but I'm not really into it.
Well, it was all a race for the Russians. Well, beat the Russians there, but doesn't mean we ever made it. And the thing is, if this is all so stinking true, then with all the powerful scopes that we have and stuff, maybe not we have, but why can't we just find that flag and the rover, and why can't we see it?
We can't.
Maybe not we, but they would show us on TV saying, "Here's a Land Rover, as you can see, it's in this area," and show us from 1969, and look, there it still is, or something.
Well,
You'd
they've
be able
been
to
there
see these
since,
things.
so it's sure
Well, they
something
haven't.
there. Huh?
We haven't been there since.
They never went back?
There's no need.
Well, that's
You
stupid.
didn't know that? Where you been?
Well, I just figured, maybe they could, swing by when they're on their way to somewhere else.
You want to stop by the moon?
No,
Yeah, I could use some lunch.
So you're telling me the Russians are the only people that have been on the moon?
No, us.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We've been there. Not me and you, but people.
Oh, let's just go on. You are stick to what you know.
Anyway, so, okay. Yeah, Friday 13th. Anyway, so they were saying that the whole yawning thing, okay? But, when we've dealt with people who have had demonic things going on.
They all yawned.
They yawned or they burped.
Right.
Got sick,
People
vomited.
always
So
yawn.
coming out of the mouth, so you never know. Our
It's
dog
not.
yawns a lot.
It's not that which come out of the mouth that defiles a man, but that which goeth in.
But it's got to come out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, get it out. Okay, so another thing people do on Friday the 13th, and I remember people in my family doing this, they covered up their mirrors. I thought that was creepier than leaving the mirrors open. I'm like, you'd walk in and all their mirrors are covered up. I'm like, someone got a zit? What's the problem?
Really?
Yeah. My aunts and stuff used to
You
cover
did
their
have a
mirrors.
weird family.
I'm serious. And I was like, they're like, oh, it's Friday the 13th.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's weird because many believe that mirrors must be covered up in the presence of the sick or dying, because a lot of the sick and dying people would claim to see death lurking at them from the mirrors. So on Friday the 13th, I guess people were afraid they'd get hurt or sick, so they cover up the mirrors. Like, okay, I know this is weird. I'm telling you, but I remember that as a kid, and that freaked me out more. So
It's just
I
a
don't know.
bunch of hoopla!
Whoopla!
Hoopla!
Well, because there's something in
Hoopla.
every culture, like the Hispanic culture. They have Tuesday the 13th is their bad day, right?
Italy, Friday the 17th.
So-
So they didn't want to copy us.
Yeah.
Or maybe Italy was first, so they're older.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, the 13th's already taken,
Right.
so you gotta find something.
Pick another day here, babes. We got about 30 days in a month. They use the 13th. Yeah, okay, well, 17th, man. Well, let's see what the Word of God has to say. The Bible shows the number 13th represents something. Talk about the numbers meaning something in the Bible. The number 13th is symbolic of rebellion and lawlessness. Ooh. Number 1, Nimrod. He tried to take the place of God. He was the 13th in Ham's line. What a pig. The phrase Valley of Hinnon appears 13 times. This is where evil writes to the pagan god Moloch to take place. Now, the dragon is a symbol for Satan, and it is found 13 times in Revelations.
There's a lot of symbolic,
Yeah.
and the Bible is very symbolic.
When it comes to numbers, the Bible, there is a great amount of detail
In numbers.
numerically throughout the Bible with 7s and 8s and new beginnings and 40 is a big number in there. And so none of them are God is extremely detailed. And these are not mistakes. These are not accidents. When it comes biblically, very detailed. Everything is extremely detailed.
So it could very well be that 13 represents, something rebellion and lawlessness, since it's all in there. The whole thing just seems to be a combo between events and practices, beliefs of ancient cultures, superstitions, and fear of the number 13. So I think everybody just sort of makes a whole crazy thing, Oh, speaking of numbers, do you know what Wednesday was?
Ah! Hump day! Hump day! Hump day! Hump day!
It was also 11/11. Global phenomenon.
Nah.
Phenomena. Do. But yeah, 11/11. Did we talk about it last week? I hope we did. But for people who didn't hear, we have our own 11/11 story.
We do.
And I don't have to go in huge detail.
In fact, I think it was either yesterday or today I had the whole 11/11 thing going on again, and then the next time I looked at the clock, it was 1:11.
Yeah, or 1:11 happens.
Yeah, I'm like,
the ones in sequence.
It's like, and I why didn't I look at? It happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, if you do a Google search, you'll find over 25 billion sites on 11/11.
None of them got the answer.
No.
Including us.
Well, the thing is, too, is
including us. We don't know.
Obviously, there's something going on. 25 billion? Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's two 12/12s in a day.
Right. There's two 11/11s.
So,
but it's not even for me. It's often the time that I see 11/11, and it could be all different things.
And it's weird, and we talked about this before. And sometimes it's like, okay, you look at the clock and you say, oh, it's 11:11, and then a minute or two later, you look at the clock again. Now, why? First of all, why are you looking at the clock? You just looked at it a minute or two ago. You knew it was 11:11. Well, now you looked at another clock that's off by a little bit, and it's 11:11.
Yeah, and you know what else too? Our 11/11 story. You want to tell a little bit about it?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. Well, with us, when I met you, I had told you, in a conversation, I always see 11/11, and you're like, yeah. Like, you had no clue. And I'm like, no, I see it all the time. And you were like, okay. And I would say, well, don't you ever see it? No. Well, when it's sometimes. And I made such a big deal of it. And I remember you looking at me like, chick, you're crazy.
Well.
As you were.
And so I'm sitting there like, okay. And I was trying to get my point across to you that I always see it. And I'm like, since I was like around 17, I think it started, 11/11, constantly. Even if a clock was, so it would be 11/11. And then maybe I'd go to someone's house and their clock was off, 11/11.
Yeah, it was
I'd see it nonstop. Then, was it a week later maybe? You called me and you're like, all right, what did you do to me?
Right, because I kept seeing it.
You started seeing it.
Why am I seeing 11/11 all the time? What is this?
It's crazy. And then some of our kids, 2 of 4 of them, started seeing 11/11.
That would be 50%.
50% of our children. So, I knew that there had to be something. I just never knew what it was. Then we got into, we started going to a new church. And
well, it wasn't a new church. They didn't just build it.
No, it was a new church for us.
Oh, I'm just trying to be detailed.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Well, I'm thinking.
But then, during a Bible study we were in at our house, will you stop drinking water? This is important.
I was thirsty.
You don't drink so loud.
I can't help it. Stupid suction thing in there squeaks.
Okay. So then we're in our Bible study at our house, and I felt so stupid, but I had to know. So I asked the guy who teaches Bible study, is there anything in the Bible about 11/11? And he looked at me, why would you ask that? So, of course, I tell him my little story that I always see it. And our church has an 11/11 story.
Well, the thing is, it was also the church was dedicated on 11/11, but it wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
There was a delay. It was supposed to be done a week or two before, and there was issues with the carpeting or something happened, and it by no means was supposed to be anywhere near 11/11, and landed. And it was funny because the material that had gotten ordered for the pews was wrong. The back of it's like they're actually just little lines, but they're little stitches, and they're constant little stitches of 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. So everywhere, these 11s are everywhere.
And our church is dedicated on 11/11. So I'm like, maybe it just means we're in the right place, but now there's 25 billion people out there who need to get to church, our church, because it's just so weird.
We have the 11/11
so I don't know.
on our furniture.
Oh, what does this mean? I guess it depends on who you talk to, because some attribute it to a gateway or portal.
Oh,
of course, but you can't have a portal without a what?
Stargate.
Stargate.
Gotta have a Stargate to have a portal. That's the fact of life.
Some believe that it's a sign that humans are angels. I'm like, where do you get that from?
Okay, there we
That's
go.
weird.
Yeah, that's another great one.
And I've heard this one. Make a wish. 1111, make a wish. So, you know. So,
Can't hurt. At least with that one, it's like, well, you never know. Might as well. Ain't gonna hurt anybody.
we got the metaphysical crowd. Now, they say it's a cue to spiritually be awakened. And, you know, when I see 1111, I instantly think there's something spiritually going on, so I believe it.
Deep meditation from within. Be one with oneself.
And I'll make the spa music. Oh, getting water everywhere.
Yes.
But I was doing the water, you know, like the tranquility of the water music while you were doing the.
No, you spilled my bottle all over the place.
Sorry,
That's what you really
I was
did.
just trying to make the sound effects. You know.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, yes,
Read.
numerology.
Our,
Okay.
our numerology.
The number 11 means intuition or revelation.
Maybe.
Conspiracy theorists say there's a glitch in our matrix.
Oh, that's by far the fact.
Now, Christians say that it's a reminder of the 11th hour, the warning before the end.
Maybe.
Because a lot of people don't understand that, but the 12th hour is it Armageddon? Or
Armageddon.
So, I mean, someone pointed out to me this a while back. So I
Right.
thought, okay. So there's some phrases with 11 and 11 letters. Jesus Christ, our Redeemer. That's 11:11. God Almighty, Jesus is Lord. 11:11. Savior Jesus, God in heaven. 11:11. I don't know.
I mean, we could come up with a zillion things.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought it was
we
neat
have
because
25 billion opinions out there.
I love JC, so I wanted to say that. I just thought it was
Right.
neat because it's the whole Christian viewpoint thing. But remember Edgar Casey?
Oh,
No,
yeah, me and Ed.
do you know him with the Knights Templar?
Oh, yeah, me and Ed go way back.
Really? Because he wasn't around during the Knights Templar.
No, I didn't say he
I
was.
said with the
I
Knights
said
Templar.
that we went way back. I didn't say how far back.
I said
didn't
with
say-
the Knights Templar, and you said yeah.
No, I was just, in general, I was saying we went way
Oh.
back. You're the one that
Who-
said Knights
who is-
Templar.
who
I didn't
is-
say Knights Templar. You did.
Who was Edgar Casey?
A friend.
Yeah, but what did he
God,
do?
we were tight.
Yeah, what did he do?
Yeah. We hung out.
Yeah?
Well,
I mean,
what
what did
he's
you-
known for and what we did are two different things.
Oh, okay. Well, he's a famous psychic
Yeah.
kind of guy. Okay, he did a lot of prophecy and stuff. He said the first lesson for 6 months should be 1-1-1-1. Oneness of God, oneness of man's relation, oneness of force, and oneness of time. A oneness of purpose. So he's saying a oneness in every effort, oneness. So people are like, whoa, was he onto something with this whole 11-11 thing? You know, I don't know.
Well, you could come up with, I mean, imagine if we wanted to, we could come up with a whole bunch of stuff and people could say, yeah, that makes
Sure,
sense.
it would
'cause
fit into a lot of
You
things.
can make a lot of things.
I mean,
yeah. the bottom
A
line
grave
is...
can fit into a lot of size boxes.
Yeah, like I had said, we don't have the answer.
No, but there's just a lot of little theories
But,
of 11-11.
I mean...
but there's got to be something. 25 billion people.
for some of us,
sites,
it's just to maybe remind you that God is with you,
and also with you,
and also with you,
and you,
and you infinity squared.
and you stick to you like glue.
That's
What was it? Wait, I was gonna say something else about the whole 11-11 thing. So, do you think that?
Matters not what I think. He's still your king.
Do you think it's like a universal thing? Then, do you think 11-11 is meant for all of us for the same thing, or individual different things?
I can't answer the question.
Answer
I
it.
really don't know.
Answer it now.
Yes, it's the
Okay.
same. It's exactly the same. All 25 billion people had better have the same answer, or they're all wrong.
Or they're all doomed.
The 11:11 verses in the prophet books of the Bible, Isaiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, the book of Revelations, all talk of dire things.
Yeah, it is neat to look up. If you look up the prophet books and look up their verses 11-11,
Every one of them is
about
doom.
about end times type of kind of stuff and what you need to do. It's sort of interesting.
Armageddon.
So I don't know. I just say 11-11's whatever you interpret it to be. So stop looking into some deep meaning. Let it go as deep as your mind. Is
Yes.
what you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what else I want to talk about? Another weird phenomena.
Deja vu, because it's written right here in our
Deja
notes.
vu. You got to say it like you're French.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Wait.
Deja vu. to you. That.
Who is that little skunk?
Huh? That's Pepe
Pepe
Le
Le Pew. Deja vu. Okay, so it is a French term, which means already
It's been a long
seen.
time since I've had that, but I've had it.
Oh, I have it
I
often.
think most people have experienced some deja vu, and it is weird.
weird.
It is weird. You're like, whoa, like an acid trip. I so have been here before, dude.
I haven't had an acid trip. I wouldn't
Neither
know.
have I, but
But not even when you were a Knights Templar?
yeah, but I know
Templar.
Spicoli.
Yeah. Well, if anybody by chance doesn't know what deja vu is, it's having the strong sensation that an event or experience currently being experienced has already been experienced in the past.
That's right.
So I do have it a lot, you know. I hate it because, and then when I'm having it, I bet a lot of people do this. When I have it, it's like, you know when you get an ice headache?
No.
When you have ice cream really fast,
No.
or it gets real cold and
Never
you
happened
touch
to
your
me.
forehead and you're like, ow, ow, ow. So that's what I do when I have deja vu. I touch my forehead. I'm like, oh, I've been here before. Stop it, stop it. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I just want to stop it when I have deja vu because it's so
Some
weird.
voices within.
I think
Our
so.
opening song talks about that.
I can fit that sometimes.
Yeah, that's why the song's there.
Oh, well, some feel it's a prophecy or precognition, you know.
Yeah.
But scientists believe that that's impossible, of course, so they reject that theory because
Well, scientists have all the answer.
Not.
they do accept, however, that it's simply a strange condition of the brain where memory creates a distinct impression that an experience is being recalled. Like by improper electric
Oh.
discharge in the brain.
No, we've been there before.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, how can a discharge in your brain, like, remember
Well, they're saying
something that makes
yeah,
you think that you're already there? It's too confusing.
Have, you know, this is off the subject, which I know is something we do not do. But
Ever.
how many times have you know, been in a dream
Yeah.
and you're dreaming and you very well recognize in the dream that you have dreamed part of this dream before
Yeah.
and that you are now continuing in that dream, or there's facts or things going on in the dream where it's like, yeah, I know about this because this happened another time, and you're like, it's like real
Almost like a
life. It's like,
memory?
oh yeah, like a memory of a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're beginning to put things together. It's like, oh no, this isn't right. This goes here and that. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
oh,
I've
how do
never
you do that?
rearranged things in my dreams.
Well,
but
I'm in charge.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I don't like to clean, not even in my dreams. So I don't do that part.
Is that why your blankets are always a mess?
I'm all, "Ah!" Yeah. But no, that does happen. Or I'll have a dream, like, and then I'll say, oh my gosh, I remember dreaming that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, some weird...
No, I mean, and then things like, you know, or how about you're dreaming and you see certain people or faces that you do not know, or at least that you think you don't know, and then later on, who knows when, in another dream, you're like, oh, I remember them from another dream.
Oh, yeah.
And you still don't know them. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, and the vision or the person's face will be so clear to you, and it's like, you know that if you actually see this person outside your dream, you're going to know.
Like, I can go on air on record, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I had a dream about a face, and you know whose face I'm going to say? He's running for president.
Oh, yeah.
I had a dream about a face being like the last president type deal, and I never knew who it was, and he is now currently running. Marco Rubio. Right? Marco Rubio, is that his
Yep.
name? And when I saw him running, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I
oh,
remember this.
that's the guy. And you're like, what guy? That's the guy. You're thinking, what guy? I dreamt about him, that face, and I seriously fear that face. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
wasn't a
it'll
good
be
thing.
interesting if he wins, because I'll be like, whoa. So
And-
anybody who's
and-
listening to
and-
this,
And, you know, it's totally not out of the question. He's slowly climbing
Climbing,
in the
yeah.
polls. And I just don't see Trump winning. I just not.
No.
I don't have anything against him. I just think you just can't go around
just
saying
wants to
and
say
doing
you're
some
fired.
of the things you're doing. And
it's going to be
president.
big, and it's going to be
It's
huge.
gonna be huge. I'm just gonna get it done.
How are you going to get it done?
Smart people doing great things. That'll be huge.
I'm just going to do it.
Get it done.
Well, I just think it's neat. Okay, so back to deja vu. You good?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Well, anyways, so, you know, this whole scientist thing, in the past, they tried to link it to mental disorders. which had no base. So that theory was kicked to the curb. And they thought that the temporal lobe epilepsy caused deja vu. But then people who were having deja vu didn't have the epilepsy, so that was kicked to the curb. And our research has associated deja vu with good memory function. And since I have deja vu all the time, I can tell you that is a kick that to the curb too. Since I have the absolute worst memory ever.
It's not a joke. That's just not a funny. It's bad.
It is so.
It's humorously bad. It's so bad.
So that's not true either.
Yeah.
So I can tell the scientists they're wrong there. Oh, okay. Well, there's also something called cryptomnesia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Yeah. Did you get a cream for that or?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
When I was a Templar, I had it.
Oh, all right.
It's better now.
Good. It's when information is learned and then forgotten, but it's still stored in the brain. Okay? So...
That is... Everybody has that.
Right. But they're saying that deja vu is that, and it's coming back. It's a memory or something. Oh. And it's similar...
hockey puck.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. Similar occurrences are raised, and it's contained knowledge leading to a feeling of being familiar. I don't buy that either. Because I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, but see, the scientists, they confuse me because they really reach for these answers, and they get so technical, and no one knows what they're talking about the brain.
They don't know
stuff.
what they're talking about.
Right. They just come up with stuff, and then they give it names and stuff. But then with us, it's like spiritual is so easy to grasp. It's so simple. And for them to not believe that, but have to come up with...
Because they need to have an answer.
Yeah, but they got to make one up.
Scientists
and ours are like, no, this is it.
They have to have an answer, and they don't want to give anybody else credit for their answer. And for a scientist to say this or that, he says he has to have something tangible to prove it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is this because of this. But you can't say God's responsible for anything because we cannot see or touch God in such a way. But if you're spiritually in tune, such as myself,
yeah,
you will be under the command of the Lord your God for always. You listen to every breath and every word he has to say.
Well, spiritualists think...
I'm in the middle of a speech.
No, I know you are. I'm trying to cut you off. All right?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks.
The spiritualists think that we've dreamt it before, remembering, like, instead of a premonition.
I could see that a little bit.
That they've dreamt it?
Yeah.
How can you dream something that happened in the future? Then it would be a premonition.
Yeah, I guess a premonition, dream mission. A dream mission, new word.
Ooh, dream mission.
Yeah, dream mission.
Hashtag dream mission.
It's a premonition in a dream mission.
Oh,
yeah, come on. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. What? All right, never mind.
There was this 23-year-old student, and he had the most extreme recorded case of deja vu ever. He claimed such strong sensations of having done things before that he can barely function every day.
Wow.
He recently had to drop out of college. There's no official explanation that's been given for his condition, and he's actually being treated. Now, I found that in like the science journal. They won't release his name because he's still currently under study, but the case has been publicly given. So,
it's also said that everyone experiences deja vu, but not everybody recognizes it every time.
I could believe that.
So it's been a long time since I remember. I haven't had a lot of it, but it is weird. I mean, you're like, you just stop and you go into that little mini trance for a minute, like, whoa, I've so been here or done this before or said. And sometimes it's just a little tiny segment, like, I've said this before. And
you're standing there.
Yeah, it's like.
That red coat was on the chair, and you're like, whoa,
yeah.
I freak out
and
about it.
And the Red Riding Hood was at the door. And,
No, not that much, I don't think. Well, I've always believed it's that, and, this could be a way out theory, but this is what I believe.
Coming from you.
I know. I'm so rational. But I think that our souls knew the life we were going to lead before we were created and put in as a baby and grown up. And we may have been able to see our life pass before us before we came. Maybe we helped God choose our lives, or I don't know, something like that, so that when we recall something, it's just a past memory of our soul.
What a bunch of crap.
No.
Anyways.
That's what I believe.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
So,
not a
could
bunch
be.
of crap. That's not nice. I really believe that. I'm offended. I need to go to Starbucks and have a red cup of coffee.
Boy, not with those cups you won't. Anti-Christians with their non-Christ-like cups.
They are red, though. The blood of Christ.
People.
Chill
if
out.
any of you listeners are one of those people, shame on you. Really. Come on. It's
Chill
a
out
cup.
about the cups, all right?
Get your own cup and take a marker and write whatever you want on it.
And stop burning the flag, the American flag, because you want minimum wage to be raised. Okay?
Yeah, that's not a good way to do it.
Yeah, they're not going to listen to
Unless you
burn
want
the
to
flag.
get into making flags because you've burned them all up.
Oh, that could be.
And
But they ain't going to pay you $15 an hour. Betsy
Yeah.
Ross didn't even get paid.
I've
So-
as a contractor, I've gone through a lot of people, and I have found very few that are worth $15 an hour.
Well,
I really have. They're just
these are minimum
people don't
wage
know how
jobs
to
anymore.
work.
But you can't
people
burn
don't know how to work.
You can't burn the flag over it. That's not going to get you anywhere. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
3
people
times serious.
This is serious. Verily, verily, I say unto you that they have the OCD shirts, obsessive Christmas disorder,
Yeah.
and people are freaking out saying that it is offensive to people with mental disorders because OCD. It's
They
like
got all these mental
it's a
disorders.
joke.
It shouldn't bother them at all.
it's a joke. It's a joke, man.
Yeah,
I have
I mean,
OCD. I love Christmas.
oh,
Obsessive
people-
Christmas disorder.
People have disorders.
Of being offended.
This
Offended
worry-
disorder. OD.
You pick and choose your battles. The Bible says every day, but I mean, folks, start picking some better battles.
I think they're just
I
bored.
mean, it's just find something to do with all that's going on with the starvation and the crime and the government and all the different things that are happening. Far better things to create chaos about than cups and T-shirts. And it's like, oh, wow.
Didn't a while back during an episode of Walking Dead, didn't Daryl eat a bug and PETA freaked
PETA
out?
was there to make sure. No, PETA was there
That's right.
to make sure because Daryl was like, I'd have ate the bug because he's into his role. It's just
Yeah.
a bug. I mean, I know everybody going, ew, but
It would have.
the kind of junk we really eat in our food, if we only knew.
Yeah.
And PETA was there to make sure that the bug wasn't harmed. And
It's not even
fake.
an animal. A bug isn't an animal, so I don't understand it. So people
So
are
I'll have
just...
to ask the people on PETA. It's like, oh, so you didn't step on an ant today? Are you sure?
What did they rolled over? How many spiders do they say we eat at night? Like,
Not at night, not per night, but in a lifetime.
yeah.
I was 15 last night. How about you?
That's
No,
what it
it's
is.
in a lifetime. Everybody has a certain amount of spiders, which I don't want to think about. But
Yeah, ew. Ah,
they say people are never more than a few feet away from a spider at any time.
I believe that. I don't mind spiders when you're outside because that's their environment.
I
But when they're
don't
in
like
mine...
spiders and snakes. That ain't what it takes to say I love you.
Is that a song?
Yeah.
A real song?
Yes, it is.
By who?
Our listeners are going to tell you, Heidi.
Okay. Do you know? You don't know either. You just know the song.
I can't remember the name.
That's
I don't
weird.
think it's Tom T. Hall.
I don't even know who that is. Oh, my gosh.
We're going back into the 70s, late
Oh,
60s.
forget it. I wasn't even born. Yeah. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is spontaneous human combustion.
Whoa.
SHC.
That is a hot subject, brother.
Okay, Scott. Bad pun. All right. The first known account of spontaneous
Don't you
human
tell some
combustion.
Man, baby, you're hot. No, really, you on fire.
Well, thank you. Nice. 1400s, there was an Italian knight named Polonius. He drank some wine, and instantly he vomited flames, and he burst into flames.
Oh.
So maybe I was thinking maybe there's stomach acid type thing. In 1663, a woman in Paris went up in smoke while sleeping. She was sleeping on a straw mattress, and the whole straw mattress was untouched, but she burned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this I've seen, in modern times where somebody is the whole chair has got an outline of their body from being consumed,
Right.
But the chair's still there.
Well, there's been many cases since these. In Pennsylvania, in December of 1966, the body of a 92-year-old Dr. J. Bentley was discovered in his home by a meter reader. Actually, only parts of his body were found. His leg and his foot, which was still in a slipper.
Yeah, I've seen some of this stuff on
rest-
modern times.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there is more, too. The rest of his body burned to ashes, and a hole in the bathroom floor was the only evidence of the fire that killed him. The rest of the house remained perfectly intact, and sometimes internal organs don't even burn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say to me is really Dr. J. Bentley was well done.
Oh, that's horrible. That's just wrong.
Crispy critter.
In England in 1967.
I mean, he's 92, and then you imagine how done he is?
In 1967, a passenger on a bus noticed blue flames in the window of an apartment building hallway. So she thought it was like a gas leak or, a gas fire. So she called the fire department. They got there and found the body of Robert Bailey. A fireman reported seeing a slit in the man's abdomen, and blue flames were coming from that.
Oh, that happens a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that happen, Police in Edmonton, Canada, investigated a weird case. This was more recently. A 20-year-old male woke up in shock. He woke up realizing he was engulfed in flames. That's a great way to wake up.
Yeah.
Witnesses say that the fire started spontaneously on his body. He was treated for second-degree burns. The doctors who reviewed his case said they'd never seen anything like it, and they can't explain it. Now, there's common characteristics of it. Victims almost completely are consumed. Usually, they're inside their home, usually by themselves. Objects outside of the body are untouched. And coroners smell something sweet and, smoky, but obviously that's from the fire part, but they smell something sweet. Scientists are starting to say that they believe it's a chemical inside of us that ignites flames without fire. Now, don't they say that we all have cancer cells, but not everybody gets cancer?
Yeah, everybody has cancer cells.
So, but things can cause you to get cancer more or faster
yeah,
or
awaken
whatever.
the cell, activate it.
Right. So maybe this is sort of like the same thing. Because some people develop strange burns in their body, and there's no obvious source. They can emanate smoke from the body with no fire, and not every person who's caught on fire from SHC has died. A small percentage of people actually survived. So they think that maybe it's methane.
I remember seeing this once, and there was one, I think he was probably middle-aged, older man, and it had happened to him more than once.
Oh.
And
I might have seen
like
that
2-3 times, and where he was really kind of lived in a little bit of fear because no way of knowing if and when it would happen again.
Oh, that would be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, they think that methane builds up in our intestines and is ignited by some kind of enzyme.
Well, after that chili last night, I know something built up in me, man.
Ew, that's gross. My chili's really good. Static electricity from a geomagnetic force, possibly.
Yes, I carry those with me. Geometric forces.
Parabelievers think it's a demonic attack.
Is that
or
two believers?
a pair of believers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, two believers think.
Think it's paranormal believers. Think
Oh!
it's a demonic attack. Or a curse coming to get somebody, finally coming to the call. People have dreamt of their deaths a lot of times with these spontaneous human combustions. So there's where the spiritual thing comes in a little bit. There's some kind of paranormal phenomena thing called a ball of lightning, and they're trying to attribute it to this, but no one is really... The couple times people have witnessed it, they've never seen that, so I think that could be ruled out. Some people think it's a psychic disorder, electric energy too high, which you never know, because like me, I can't wear watches.
Right.
They die instantly. They stop working.
Yeah, there's
And
all...
If I touch too
Or
many...
even a mixture of some of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
A build-up with gases in the abdominal area or whatever, and this whole high electrical current thing. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's real. I just don't have an answer as to why.
And because these people burn so quickly...
I know it's a
they
hot
can't-
subject.
That's just wrong. That's so lame. King of puns.
I know.
So they can't test anybody. But, the people, like that guy, the people who have had it and lived, they should test them for these enzymes.
Well, I'm
and
sure
stuff.
they have tested.
Well, then they should have an answer.
It may not be consistency.
That could
And
be.
besides that, if the people are dead...
I'm
most
talking
of
about the
them-
people that live.
They may not have consistency in the view.
Oh,
You know?
that could be.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay, well, there's another phenomena A full moon mania. We sort of talked about it during the blood moon thing, right?
Yes. It is the very error of the moon. She comes more near the earth than she was wont, and makes men mad. That was my friend William Shakespeare.
From Othello. Nice. Your friend, William Shakespeare?
I knew him.
You sure?
I was a Templar. Lar.
He wasn't. I was a Templar. You know how people you say,
It is the very hour of the moon. She comes more near the earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
okay, well,
Yes.
Billy Shakes is this very smart writer, but, you know, that was an Othello,
Moon River.
and there were things back then that people thought full moons made people crazy.
The moon hits the sky like a...
Are you going to sing like everything?
What?
There's a lot of moon songs. Are we going to be here for a while?
Want to talk about Moon Zappa?
Moon unit. Did your mom ever say stuff like that? Oh, there must be a full moon out tonight.
I think I've heard that from just
Yeah.
about everybody. Yeah.
That's like a...
My neighbor's into that, but he's like the Wolfman already, so...
Oh, nice. What neighbor's like the... We don't have a Wolfman neighbor.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyways, the moon god is Luna. Comes from lunatic, so
Luna.
maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Luna.
Well, here, okay, think about this. If lightning makes things grow, right? The electric charge.
Well, it's the nitrogen.
Yeah, okay. And there's specific days to do everything, from plant root crops to cut hair because of increased growth.
That's right.
And based on the phases of the moon and other factors, they plant things,
Sure.
So maybe there is something to a full moon and maybe the electric
Rising
charge
on
or something that...
Well, there's the
affects our
magnetic
personality.
pole, and there's lots of different things. No, I believe there's, there's a certain amount of truth to some of the things with actual things that you can be affected. You're affected by your surroundings.
Yeah.
You're affected by the air and the water and the magnetic pole and just everything you are affected by. So the moon coming closer or farther away has some significance to us. So I believe that there is. I don't know about the extent of mental disorders, but I believe there's some things.
And you know what? People could get it with maybe who are unstable, get that in their head. So
Yeah,
it's like a green light for them to go crazy.
Except
I
for
don't
the
know.
Wolfman, we know that he couldn't help it.
No, it's not his fault. He got bits. Poor guy. Yeah. Well, a lot of scientists say that it's sleep when they can't sleep.
Paralysis.
Sleep deprivation.
Infamia.
What's that word?
It's deprivation. Deprivation.
When you can't
deprivation,
sleep.
Yeah. Sleepless in Seattle.
When it's caused by the brightness of the full moon. So it makes them...
Deprivation. Sleep.
Yeah, that's it. Deprivation. Deprivation. Sleep deprivation.
We got it. We're not as dumb as we look. Oscar, how would you know we're on a podcast?
So it could be that.
Could be.
But I personally have noticed people do act weird around a full moon. I always usually know.
Yes, my precious. Flies. I like flies.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's it for tonight on this crazy stuff. But it is time for the rock and roll segment.
You suck.
You know what? I said rock and roll segment. I meant rock and reject. I always say rock and roll. Rock and...
Yeah, you always say it like every day.
I do. I say rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's rock and reject segment.
All right.
Okay, first
Three
I'm
balls
gonna
on the straight.
I'm gonna do what rocks.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna do rocks tonight. You're gonna do reject. So first, this is what rocks. Apple computer. I am so proud of them for turning down an app called Buzz and Tipsy. It was an app to help you drive drunk by locating DUI checkpoints. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's just what we need.
Police set up certain points to catch drunk drivers, and so this app would tell people where they are so they could avoid them and, get home safely while driving drunk.
Yeah, it's this whole driving drunk thing though. I mean, we got the whole rocks. It's really people die. We had a little girl down the street.
Yeah.
We don't know her, but she's within a half a mile of our house, and they still have a thing set
13
up.
years old.
13 years old, and she's just out in the
Sunday-
afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
And just going for a little jog because she was like in middle school track or something, but dead because some guy in the middle of the day, this was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, runs over and kills her.
With his dog in the car. The dog got ejected.
Yeah.
And the worst, it's such a horrible,
I mean, and
it was
it's
bad.
like, this guy, this was not a first-time offense. This was not a second-time offense. This was not a third-time offense. This is multiple-time offense. He should have been behind bars.
He probably
He ain't learned his
didn't
lesson.
have this app.
But now there's a little...
Good thing.
Little girl that's dead, and, that's
Well, I'm glad
ridiculous.
that Apple turned down that, because it could have
There
been a
should
very
be
popular
nothing-
app, and they could have made a lot of money from
nothing,
that.
I mean-
So I'm glad that they did the right thing.
Stay home.
It's ridiculous.
Just stay home and drink all you want. Just stay home and do it. Don't, But let's talk about some reject.
Okay.
That almost could go with the reject part 2.
Yeah, could.
Drunk driving, really. But for my reject portion, we are going to talk about Taiwan funeral strippers.
Whoa.
Yeah, get this. I know you're all saying, what? This is real. A common thing for young exotic dancers and strippers to perform at funerals to appease the spirits.
Yeah, they have poles set up and everything.
Might be a little hard to be upset during the funeral. I mean, for some of the people, be like, yeah, you want to go to a funeral tonight? Yeah, I want to go to a funeral. I'm coming. Let's go.
They have good turnouts. That's just wrong. So
You know that guy? No.
that is a total reject. People used to crash weddings so they could drink the free
now
beer.
they're going to funerals.
Now they're crashing funerals. So they
This is the strippers.
wow, Taiwan
Through
has the
cover
highest
charge.
funeral count.
They have to cover charge to get in a funeral.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. All right. Well, anyway, so next week, actually, this week we were supposed to talk about spiritual warfare and the hierarchy of powers of demons. But because it was Friday the 13th, I wanted to sort of do this fun little thing today. So
Talk about getting wild, Heidi.
I know. Call me Cry Cry.
Yeah. Cry.
So
Cry.
next week we will be talking about spiritual warfare and the hierarchy and powers of demons. It's going to be a really intense kind of study.
Very intense. You're probably going to see us at a level of seriousness you have never heard before.
And you probably still won't, not with Scott.
Yes, right.
Well, as always, you can find us in a variety of ways.
Variety. Multiple ways, brother.
Our website,
You could use the website, man.
where if you have spiritual afflictions or
Confliction.
you need, if you have questions,
You got a question on your mind, brother? Just ask, and ye shall receive.
we have a Spiritual Warfare and Truth Network,
Truth will set you free.
EPH 612 SWAT.
That's Ephesians 6:12.
No, it's not.
That's SWAT. Karate.com.
No, it's EPH612SWAT.com. If you
That's what I said my
you
own
said
way.
Ephesians, so they're going to probably be typing in the whole word Ephesians.
It's not my fault.
No, it is your fault. You said it.
Oh.
Okay. Our website for the podcast,
Is at tsrradio.net.
and we do have a Twitter at TSR Parapod.
Beep, beep, beep.
Scott,
What?
at TSR Parapod. And we have a Facebook Talk Supernatural podcast.
Why are you staring at me?
Because you're singing that stupid song.
It's not a stupid song. It wasn't stupid when they made it.
Yep.
Anyways, you can email us with any questions or comments at talksupernatural@gmail.com.
So until next week, remember, anyone.
Listen, this is for you. Listen.
You suck.
What did you do that for? Because you're in control of the keyboard?
Yeah. I was trying to get to the you suck part. I couldn't get to it fast enough. Sorry. I hate that song. Tweedly.
Well, I hate that.
No, that's Rock and Reject.
If we're going to do rock and reject, let's get something kicking on there, dude.
Wait, I like mine. All right, I'll get something kicking for next week.
All right, because that was like, yeah, fuck. It's so,
No, it's not.
it's
It's
so,
cool.
it's so cheap.
Cheesy.
Channel, 492 thing that nobody listens to thing going on.
I listen.
I mean,
to
I don't get
492.
it. It's dumb, stupid. I want something kicking, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be part of this. I want to jamming. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, that's it for tonight.
So,
Until next week, folks, remember, anyone can be abnormal, but crazy takes some practice.
This world's a tortured place to be. So many things to torment me. And as I stumble down this road, it takes a toll. I need an intervention, but I can see it coming. Some things just can't be explained.
And that's all, folks.